Hey guys, I'm Dr. Matt Geller, and I'm here with Trudi Charezn. She is the co-founder of Marketing for ECPs. Marketing is super near and dear to my heart. It's essentially what I do day in and day out.
Yeah.
And it boggles my mind every time I hear an OD say that they don't spend money on marketing and advertising. And basically the thought that goes through my mind is, why would you not spend $1 if you can make $2 every single time?
How about spend $1, make $10?
Exactly.
Because that's actually really realistic these days with the power of digital marketing.
Yep.
I see such opportunity every single day for eye care businesses, and obviously that's what I'm helping them with. And I'm always shocked when I can't get them to spend some money on, something that is literally going to drive their business growth and revenue.
I think maybe one of the misconceptions is that they have an old frame of mind when it comes to marketing and advertising where it was difficult to track ROI. But now most of the platforms out there let you do that kind of like right then and there.
Yeah.
So tell me about that and what are those platforms?
The thing I love about digital marketing is the ability to track that it actually works. Compared to traditional marketing, yellow pages, newspaper ads, so hard to actually track results, where with the power of some of the things you can do today, Facebook, Instagram, obviously Google.
Google.
We use a lot. We've got Google here this weekend. We can show the optometrist exactly how their ads are working. What is it driving? We put tracking on their website that can tell if the ad drove a phone call or drove a booked appointment.
Right.
And so we can show them, spend this, and it is going to turn into a patient in your practice.
So, a lot of docs out there, they've got to get back into the exam room, see patients, get back into the flow, and marketing to them can be very daunting, jumping on the computer, figuring out those things from scratch. So, how do you guys work with them to make that easier?
Yeah, it's a good question. I love to talk to optometrists, and it's actually better if they have been trying to do a bit of marketing themselves because they sort of get it, but they know they need some help to take it to the next level. I often talk to an optometrist who says, well, I've tried Google AdWords and it didn't work.
Yep.
I spent $1,000 and I got 2 patients. And I just say to them, okay, let me show you why that happened and what a real business case is of spend $1,000, get 26 patients, which is what you should get if you target right. A lot of doctors who are trying to do their own digital media, whether it's Google, Yahoo, Yelp, Instagram ads, or Facebook ads, they don't utilize all the expertise that you can put into that ad to target the right audience.
Got it.
So they're actually marketing too far outside of their zone, and people are clicking on that ad that will never come to that location because it's too far.
For those who don't know, when it comes to targeting, what things can you target by?
Oh, there's so much.
Okay.
And again, it's the power of data. And I like to tout that marketing without data is just aiming at something and you never know whether you're going to hit it or not. And so utilizing the data is so important. So not just data that the ads can supply, but the data from your practice software. Looking at who is your patient, what age are they, what are they buying, what are they spending, what geography are they coming from? You can actually pull up those zip codes and then you can plunk that into your targeting ads so that if 80% of your patients are coming from 5 zip codes, that's what you should be targeting, and that's where a lot of people make the mistake.
And so now there's actually this term retargeting. So tell our audience about what retargeting is.
Yeah, that's a really unknown concept to a lot of optometrists, and I get it. It is...
They've experienced it though.
Yes, they've experienced it. So what retargeting is when you're searching and you end up on a website. So let's say I'm an eye care consumer. I've typed in optometrist Atlanta, and I end up on a website, but I leave. And what happens is if they have retargeting marketing in place, then as I'm searching other sites and as I'm searching in the Google network or display network they call it, then those ads are popping up of that practice, reminding me of where I visited so that I may click on it and go back, or I may just go in or call and book an appointment.
And so you can retarget within Google, within Facebook. Where are other common places that you guys like to do that?
Well, Google's the best,
Yep.
and it's seriously the best proven method.
Yep.
We really get the best results with Google. So we focus there, we start there, we continue there. That's the best place to do retargeting, but you can do it on other browsers as well. Bing, Yahoo, yeah.
Got it. So how does someone know that they're getting an ROI? What actually tells them, I got a call, I got a patient, and how do they, there's tools to visualize those things. So what can docs expect when they've come full circle, so to say?
So if you're doing marketing well, or you're working with a company, they will usually put some tools in place that truly track the ad and user experience. So meaning, if you're putting tools on your website that are heat map tracking, click tracking, so that you can see what happens when a patient clicks on an ad and goes to your website. We put call tracking numbers on both the ads and the website. So if somebody sees an ad in Google, for example, so we've put in an ad, book an appointment, book an eye exam, they click on that, they go to the website, we can see now what ad drove them there. We can see if they've actually clicked and called the practice. We can even record the call, so we can see, was the conversion there? Did they book an appointment? If they didn't, why? Was there a question or inquiry not answered properly? And then we can see if they booked an appointment online. Online booking is huge right now, and so we're really focusing on the user experience and driving people to book online, because that is the millennial way. They don't want to call.
Right.
But a quick tip that I love to share with people, an easy thing that anybody can do right now and have immediate impact on their website, is to make sure that their phone number on their website is clickable. So we go to websites all the time, and there's their phone number's there, but you can't click on it and immediately call. And that can easily, convert 20% of additional traffic.
Yep, I bet everyone right now is
clicking,
pulled up their phone and is checking that.
Well, and then there's mobile.
Yep.
Okay, so, the
70% of traffic at least.
It is. Literally 58% of Eyecare consumers are mobile, searching on mobile. And, you can test to see if your website is mobile friendly, but it is so important right now to have a good mobile experience when it comes to somebody searching and finding you, almost more so than your experience from a PC or laptop.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what can a new graduate, someone getting started today, how do they plug themselves into becoming a do-it-yourself marketer? Where should they be, thinking and reading? What blogs? How can they learn some of these things themselves?
Yeah, there's a lot of resources out there. When you look at somebody who's working with an agency, for example, they're working with a graphic designer, a web developer, a pay-per-click specialist, a copywriter, a content specialist, and it's really hard for an optometrist to become really good in all of it. However, there's certainly things that they can do, and I always say there's such a wealth of information. They can Google it.
Yep.
They can, look at YouTubes on everything from, how to be a better social media manager for their practice to doing their own AdWords campaigns and how to target properly, to building a proper promotional campaign and activity, and then how to blast it out there so that it actually gets results.
I think people watching this are already off to the first step in the right direction.
Yeah.
So aside from advertising, there's, I think, this other side of marketing, which is more around perhaps content creation, or I would even say marketing is going door to door and handing out something that's promotional. What other areas of marketing, maybe not as automated as something like Google or Facebook ads, what are those things that ODs should be focused on to grow their practices?
Yeah, see, I'm a true believer that there's still some traditional methods that work as well. It all depends on the practice. A downtown metropolitan area, like maybe downtown New York, a traditional method is not going to be as effective as maybe a digital method.
Right.
But a rural location, in a smaller town or area where even their patient base is really spread out, they can really still capitalize on some community newspapers and putting an ad in that, to getting involved in community events. And so there are traditional methods at work. There is no doubt that we cannot track those as well. So traditional, it is unfortunate that the best you can do is ask people when they come into the practice, how did you hear about us? And hope to gain a bit more accurate information if that ad did work, but it doesn't have the power of tracking as much as a digital, campaign or media does. However, we see huge results. So that's why a lot of times when we're working with a rural practice is we tell them to do, about 50% traditional and 50% digital.
What do you think are the common pitfalls or challenges that most ODs go through when they're starting to get started?
Number one, they don't spend enough money on marketing. Number one. If I could, share any piece of advice with an optometrist is, I see them spend $300,000, $500,000 on building a beautiful practice. I see them spend $30,000, $100,000 on a piece of equipment, and then they won't spend $2,000 on advertising to drive people into their business.
Yep.
It is such an opportunity. You should never look at advertising and marketing and media as money out the door. You should be looking at it as an investment, just like your practice, just like your technology.
Absolutely.
And that investment should make you money.
Yep.
And if it's not making you money, then something's wrong.
Yep.
So marketing done properly, should get you a minimum of 3 times return on your money. Mm-hmm. Spend $1, get 3. Mm-hmm. But done well, it should be 10 times return on your money.
I like that.
And
I like that 10 times.
We see that every day.
Yep.
We do. We get a lot of people coming to us and they think social is marketing right now, where social itself is changing. As you know, you guys are on social media all the time. What's happening with Facebook and Instagram right now is setting a precedent of the fact that social is becoming pay to play, just like Google. And right now, what's happening to a business page on Facebook is that, starting about 6 months ago, very few people were seeing your posts.
Yep.
Now 0 are. 0 people are seeing the posts.
We were hit by that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so then people are saying, well, is it worth me posting on Facebook? And the answer is yes, but don't just post to post. It's, pay to play. Post something good, something promotional, something that's going to make somebody do an action, and then put a little bit of money behind it, so boost it.
Boost it.
Or actually create an ad in Facebook and literally drive people to the action that you want. The same thing is happening with Instagram. Of course, it's owned by Facebook. Yep. So don't just do social media, learn how to utilize social media because it is changing. Keep up with the trends on social media. Understand there's other social media. I'm a LinkedIn queen. I love Pinterest. And people aren't utilizing these for business like they can.
Right.
Twitter is still a very effective tool. And of course, Google Plus is almost mandatory if you want to show up on Google and for your SEO.
Right. I think one of the best ways to kind of get ideas is to just mirror or look at what other brands are doing. I just like looking at what Coca-Cola, Mercedes, what are they doing? They seem to always be on the cutting edge. They're probably investing more money, or are investing more money than others. So take those ideas and attach your budget to it, something reasonable, something that's going to get you an ROI, and then implement it.
Absolutely.
What creative stuff have you seen out there?
I love following big brands, but I also love following people in our industry who are doing a really good job. Some of the big brands in our industry, from Luxottica to Marchand to some of the small companies, are doing a great job of not only social media, but really, getting creative and innovative with their marketing.
I think you've got to have great content, though, right? You can't just say, I'm on social. What are you going to post your logo every time? How do people go about content creation?
Well, we try to get people to come up with a bit of a story for their business. What is the personality? What do you want people to know about your business? Are you a specialty practice that's really focusing on something like dry eye or a medical niche, or are you a high-end fashion? And start to create campaigns around what you are and what you want people to get out of your marketing.
Yep.
Because the one thing I do see is people don't do that. They do basic marketing or basic campaigns, and then the patient is driven into this practice with a different perception, and they get there and it's not what they thought. So I'm always about, advertise and be who you are. So if you are a high-end fashion boutique, go after that. If you are more medical and more of a niche practice, go after that niche in your marketing.
What should a brand, a practice first start with when they're thinking about this? What's the bedrock? What's the foundation to start thinking about? Is it a concept? Is it, your mission? What are those things before you embark on saying, let me just, build on top of this foundation?
Yeah, I mean, every practice is different because it depends if you're a very established, older practice with a history already that we can draw from.
Right.
You've already got a story, and it's about fine-tuning that story or changing the story if you want to go a different direction.
I see.
Or you're a brand new practice and you have no brand yet, and you have to develop a brand and you have to create an image for yourself and a brand. So we really start from the ground roots of where are you, what are your objectives? Do you want to grow your business? So the first thing I ask an optometrist is, where are you in your life cycle of your practice? So do you want more patients? Do you want to grow your optical? Do you want to grow revenue? Are you going to add an associate? Because that is also going to change how we're going to start your marketing program. We do an audit. We really look at what you have for marketing, what you have been doing, what has been successful and what's working. We start by creating a budget, and then the biggest thing we do is we build a very, very high converting optimized website, because although website itself is no longer just a marketing strategy, everything we build and we create is driving to that foundation, which is the website. So they say right now there's 104 million searches on Google every month in the Eyecare field. Every month.
Yeah, it's a lot.
30 million are in the US.
Wow.
And so you want to make sure that all of the marketing that you're doing is driving you to show up when those searches are happening.
Yep. Any other kind of just big tips you want to give out there, kind of take homes for folks watching?
My biggest tip is to really try different types of marketing.
Sure.
I feel like people are scared of the digital, or they're scared to spend money on the digital marketing, and I truly can see that it works. So I'm like, try it out, do it yourself, or hire a partner to help you do it, but get marketing.
How long should they do that for? Because I think that people go into it thinking, well, I'll try it for a week, but simply that's just not enough frequency to get it following.
Not only not enough frequency, not enough data, not enough accurate targeting to even see if it's working.
Sure.
I personally say 3 months of working on
at least
on a marketing concept like maybe Google AdWords to really see how it's working.
Yep. Okay, got it. So back to your tips then.
So the biggest tip was really just to get more active in marketing, budget a bit more, understanding that the dollar should come back to you and it should grow your revenue. But when you're starting, to build your business plan for the next year, budget in more marketing.
Got it. It's easy as that.
It is, yeah.
Well, definitely people should get started on it. Thanks for spending the time with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, check out Marketing for ECPs as well.
Thanks.